So basically at the monarchy of Gànlɔdó, what we have developed without trying intentionally a new African language. Ancient African languages combined together in a overstandable and non-conflicting way. We call that language Kilɔmbogbe, Kilombo-Gbe, right? Kilɔmbo is, if you look up Quilombo, that was the Portuguese misspelling of the word Kilombo, is a Congo word, which means an encampment. And it is an encampment with an intention of removing yourself away from disorder and chaos, right? So that's what a Kilombo is in the physical sense. Those that have the overstanding to get away from the chaos, they join or create Kilombos. Kilombos are mostly known by that name in Brazil. There's even a movie called Kilombo. We have went back to spelling it the correct Congo way, Congo way. Be, Gbe, is the Aja word, as many people call them, the phone people, but again, the phone are only a subset of the Aja. Be means language, right? In that particular tone that is being pronounced in right there. According to the tone, it can mean several other things, which is very interesting. So we have Kilɔmbogbe, and it is combined at its base. It is based off the combination rather of three particular languages we speak fluently. That is Ki Bantu, or so-called KiSwahili. Ki means language. Swahili is an Arabic word. We don't use that. If we were speaking Swahili, we would still use the Arabic, the Arabic infiltration, the words that infiltrated Ki Bantu. We say Ki Bantu because we only speak the Bantu parts. And anything we need to replace, any Arabic we need to replace, is replaced with some other African language that is legitimate and not borrowing foreign language. So, Ki Bantu, Ede Yoruba, or Yoruba language, and the phone dialect of Ajagbe, the Aja language, right? That has combined to create a new African, ancient African, new African language, if that makes any sense, that we use at Gànlɔdó. Now, why are we saying all of this? Why even make a video about it? We talk a lot about sovereignty and independence, being still considering ourselves still part of the new African independence movement, the Republic of New Africa. We've been a part of that national coalition for reparations for black people. We've been part of all of that, you know, and so we brought that into the culture. We didn't stop that just because, you know, we became, you know, these, you know, the preacher man, priests and priestesses and stuff like that, right? That being said, we are always seeking to practice our ancient traditions from a new African perspective, and sovereignty is the basis of Maroonage. We use the term Kilombonu to refer to things that are Maroonage. Maroons, of course, are those people. Now we're using the term that's related to more to Jamaica. Those are the people that freed themselves from captivity, created their own, not just communities, but monarchies. Some of them were sellouts, but we use the term Maroon because a lot of people don't know Kilombonu. So until, you know, we get y'all familiar with the language, we got to go back and forth between the enemy's language, which is often a mistranslation of what we really do, and our true language, right? So this is a Maroon move. Now, Kilɔmbogbe the way we're looking at it at this time can only be learned through experience. We can't put a book out and say, this is Kilɔmbogbe. You know, this is something that you just do naturally. You're around people that speak Yoruba. You're around people that speak Ki Bantu, or so-called Swahili. You're around people that speak Yoruba, right? And you get to the point where you interchange words. You'll be speaking in Ki Bantu, let's say, and then there's nothing for you to put a Yoruba word in there, or a Yoruba phrase, or just start speaking Yoruba, then switch back to phone, or make a sentence that, you know, with 20 words in it, 6 of them Yoruba, 6 of them are Ki Bantu, and the other in the phone dialect. So this is what we've done in the spirit of re-Africanization from a Maroon perspective. And we think this is a beautiful thing that we wanted to share with the world, with the African world, you know, and share that particular African world view, because this is something that people talk about. People talk about sovereignty and nationalism and stuff like that, but they never, unfortunately, even when they have good intentions, they often don't make moves that are sovereign, that are from a new African independent perspective. You see? So this is no bragging rights or nothing like that. It's just that we don't reinvent the wheel at Gànlɔdó. You know, for instance, we speak fluent Yoruba, but there are tons of Yoruba sources out there. So why write a Yoruba book? You know, so we wrote a book on the phone dialect of called Fongbè Primer, Functional Phone Language for Our Everyday World. You know, that was for our new African people who speak English. 9.9% of people out of 10, 9.9 out of 10 rather, that go to Benin and get these initiations or whatever, they don't know the language. They don't know either language that they're speaking over there, because they speak some variant of Aja and French. So now some people know French. You know, a lot of the more scholarly, a lot of these people working in universities that go get initiated to Vodun, they know French, so they have to get the translation through the French. But why not know the language itself? Because a lot of times the people don't be telling you the real deal, what they're saying. It's no different than a Korean. You're in the nail shop and they talking about you. You don't know what they saying. You have no clue. So, Kilɔmbogbe, that is the language of the Kilombo. Gànlɔdó Kilɔmbonu Xotɔme, all right? And that is the Gànlɔdó Maroon Monarchy, right? Kilombonu Maroon Xotɔme is a monarchy in the Aja language. It is Ijoba in Yoruba, right? So these are the moves we're making, and any African with good character, decent character, that wants to assist this movement that we've been, what we call the Kilombo paradigm, or Betinme Kilombo, right? Anybody that wants, any African that wants to assist, that has good character, that's thinking about joining a movement like this, you're free to contact us at info@gànlɔdó.com, GANLODO. Of course, that's going to be in the description. We have publications at restorationhealing.com. Our 22 publications on the Isheshe and primarily the Vodun traditions are there. And of course, Gànlɔdó.com, GANLODO.com is the monarchy's website. We encourage others to do this. You don't have to be part of Gànlɔdó to think in a new African independent and sovereign manner. You know, it's just that we at this time, where it comes to Vodun and Isheshe, we are the only ones that's doing this. You know, we are open to being corrected. We're open to being corrected, and it's, no, Ahosu, you know, no, we found this other group over here that's doing it from the Vodun and Isheshe perspective. Now, before you do that, these are the qualifications. A true New African Maroon does not entertain non-Africans. They don't initiate non-Africans, especially in relation to family development, meaning their mate choice. They're not friends, cozy with non-Africans. They don't sit up in front of a bunch of non-Africans and talk about African culture, like we see not most, but a lot of these people doing in these traditions. So, you know, they may have their appearance, but if they don't have those kind of that common sense worldview together, then they don't qualify to be Maroons, to be be part of New African Independence movement, as it is defined by common sense and knowing who your enemy is. You know, so don't go find somebody that got some land and say, hey, they're doing it too. Like, no, you need to know about their politics. 10 out of 10, we're going to be able to tell you, no, they're not, because we probably already know their politics. But if you as an individual vibrate with what we're saying as Maroons, as we're talking about the Kilɔmbogbe, the language of the Kilɔmbo, then please contact us, and we'll tell you the steps that are needed to elevate within our the paradigm. You know, as usual, we are Aino, Hosu Agelo Bagan Asak Baju, Jǐsovì Azàsinkpontín Àgbɔ the first. As usual, we always say goodbye at the end. And for those that don't know, we use the Yoruba term Odabo in a particular context. The word Odabo means goodbye until the return. But the context is that you may not know when you'll see that person. And the additional context is you may not want to see that person. So, and we say Odigba in Yoruba, that means goodbye until the next period, right? Meaning that we do want to see you again. We are welcoming you back, even by saying Odigba, which is another form of goodbye, but a different connotation. We use Odabo towards our enemies, the enemies of not just Gànlɔdó, but the enemies of the New African Independence movement, reparations, the enemies of true black nationalism, the true enemies of true Pan-Africanism, not the Pan-Africanism that says that, you know, we can all work together to achieve Pan-Africanism. No, this is black only, if you will, Pan-Africanism. The enemies of Maroonage. To all those people we say the other word. So to our friends we say Odigba. We hope to see you again. Either tuning in here or eventually in person or through email or whatever, but hopefully eventually in person if you are of good character and you have a nationalistic mindset. To our enemies, we say, as Rollo said it on Sanford and Son in 1974, the first time we ever heard the word. To our enemies, you know what that the word Odabo means, as we said it, right? I mean, we don't want to see you no more. And there's other connotations behind it too, the way we say it, but we can't say that because our enemies might try to, you know, get the authorities on us. So to our enemies, we say Odabo, Jack.